And I decided to become a journalist and starting to research what is going on in the society, going and interviewing people. And I went to a summer camp for kids where we had military games. I think I was 8 or 10, but we were required to participate in the military games in the summer camp. And one of the next summers I went to a different camp. I grew up in Estonia when it was still part of the former Soviet Union. And so the Estonian camp was a bit different from the Russian summer camp for kids. And we didn't have military games there. I really liked it because I was more free. I could go and run in the woods and climb trees and go swim in the Baltic Sea. And I decided to write a story about it. I kind of did a story comparing two summer camps for kids. The one where there were games and fun and freedom, and the other one where everything was militarized. You had to march, you had to do certain things, you had to wake up at 4 a.m. pretending there was war. So I wrote that story, and I belonged to a young journalists club in the biggest newspaper in Estonia at that time. And so I submitted my story to the editor, and he read it, and he right away said, no, we're not going to publish it. And to me it was strange because I thought it was really good. And he said that we're not allowed to publish it. It doesn't fit into the agenda. And the agenda being, it's wonderful to have a militarized summer camp for kids. And I was upset, and I didn't know what to do or what to say because I knew that what I wrote, I saw with my own eyes. I experienced it, and it was written very well. At least I thought so. And I decided, well, I'll go to a journalism school, and maybe I did something that didn't fit into the format of the newspaper. But I started to find out more and more that it wasn't about writing that is good or bad. It was about a predetermined agenda. You had to fit with your story, with your writing style, with people you interview, with ideas, with everything in the newspaper. Just like when I was in school, everyone had to be compliant, everyone had to be on the same page, everyone had to have the same voice. Otherwise, it didn't matter if it was a great story, if it was true, if it was written really well, it didn't matter. If it didn't fit, it would not be published. That's it. And so I didn't like that at all. I wanted to be somewhere where I could speak freely, write freely, say whatever I want, do whatever I want, wear whatever I want. And when an opportunity presented to go to the United States to study journalism, I said yes. I said I wanted so much because I thought I will go to a completely different country where there's freedom of speech, that I will never ever again be afraid to say something or to write something or to wear something or not to wear something. I would be free. And so I got a journalism degree in the United States, and I worked for a little bit as a journalist. I worked for Microsoft News in 1995 when Windows were just launched and online journalism just barely started. I was one of the first online journalists in the United States. And that's where I first heard that soon all of the news media would be writing and publishing the same, that the news media would be universal, that there would be one source, of course, that would be probably Microsoft News, and there would be, that source would be the one to distribute news everywhere. And I thought right away, that's not right. I don't want that to happen. I want different voices to be heard and different sources and maybe even controversial information to be published freely as I intended. So if anyone is the same, am I back to the compliant system? And that's the first time when I questioned it. But I still didn't have proof that that's what would happen. And so I went on, and eventually I left journalism because I decided there was no fight for me to fight. I was living a happy life. I started a family. And I thought that everything was perfect. I think I had these beautiful rose-colored glasses, and I looked at the whole country as perfect country where everyone is happy and everyone who is hardworking will get to paradise. Because I did. I came to United States barely speaking any English. I had 2 bags with me, and through learning, through hard work, I got to where I wanted to be. I got the American dream. And what's the American dream? People who work hard, who are sincere and honest, they get to have a family and get a house, travel for vacations, have a community, have amazing hobbies, do what they like, basically live a happy life. And I got that happy life until just very recently I started watching news and realizing that it was not as happy as I thought it was, because what I was listening to from the mainstream media, with my background in journalism, with my ability to research what is true and what is not true, I realized what I was watching was not true. And I started pausing when I was reading or watching something and investigating, where did it come from? Where is the source of the information? And I started to realize more and more that there is an agenda that I didn't like. And it was heartbreaking, it was devastating. It's like I was back in my childhood years where most of the mainstream media sources were saying the same thing, and it was not true. And my happy life, happy world just broke. And my rose-colored glasses just shattered.